We don't know what goes on behind closed doors with the royal family, but sometimes they bring their secrets right out into the open. Here's what some expert lip readers say they've caught royals saying in public.
Lots of viewers thought Queen Consort Camilla was acting odd during the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. So we asked an expert to learn why the usually unflappable Camilla was suddenly so fidgety. There was definitely some awkwardness to accompany the sadness in the days leading up to Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle were in London when it was announced that senior members of the royal family were asked to come to Balmoral Castle in Scotland to see the Queen one last time. Harry made the trip but arrived late. Meghan was apparently asked to stay behind because King Charles III didn't think it would be a good idea for her to be there, according to page 6. That might or might not have been one of the reasons the Duchess of Sussex showed telltale signs of discomfort when she made an appearance with Prince William and Kate Middleton at Windsor Castle. At that same event, the Daily Mail also noted a strained distance between the newly minted Prince and Princess of Wales. King Charles has also had his viral moment when he was caught on camera getting upset over a leaky pen at Hillsborough Castle. He also appeared agitated when one of his royal staff members wouldn't remove a pen tray fast enough before his proclamation signing. Now it seems like the spotlight is turning toward the new Queen Consort, Camilla Parker Bowles, because people are saying she appeared uncharacteristically nervous during Queen Elizabeth's funeral. Body language expert Nicole Moore suggests that Camilla looked anything but herself at the Queen's funeral, and the reason behind her discomfort is a bit heartbreaking. Moore said of Camilla's entrance into St. George's Chapel at Windsor Castle, Camilla's body language here indicates that there is more than meets the eye. While Camilla likely has a lot of feelings surrounding Queen Elizabeth's death, perhaps she doesn't feel she has a right to show them. Moore said that the Queen Consort used her clutch as a shield of sorts. She explained, Camilla was holding her clutch to the side of the body until the moment she had to encounter the doors of the funeral and more people, at which point she clasped the clutch in front of her body. In another instance, Camilla looked like she was barely singing God Save the King. Moore said, there was a slight undertone in her expression of pain, almost as if she's trying to hold it all in by staying inside of her head and just focusing on the move she has to perform rather than feeling what's in her heart. What really stood out was simply how Camilla looked fidgety and nervous. Given Charles and Camilla's history, Moore says, it's likely that Camilla will take some time to feel fully worthy of her new place as queen, given that she was not exactly welcomed into the royal family to begin with. Social media users also noticed the Queen Consort's apparent discomfort. One tweeted, Camilla looks scared? Another Twitter user referenced what many believe to be the late Queen's feelings regarding Camilla in earlier days, writing, not convinced Queen Elizabeth liked Camilla much. Even with all this perhaps unwanted attention, many Brits are hopeful for the Queen Consort to take on her new role alongside King Charles. Columnist Nimco Ali of the Evening Standard wrote a column with the bold headline, Camilla will be the perfect feminist Queen Consort our country needs. The Washington Post also pointed out that Queen Camilla has done a good job of winning British affection as, quote, a no-fuss royal with neither temper nor elitist airs. A good example of that attitude would be the time she gave journalists a wink after meeting with former President Donald Trump in 2019, according to the BBC.
You never know what's going to happen next.
She's also gotten plenty of praise and attention for her lighthearted humor over the years. In 2015, Camilla teasingly held a knife in front of her husband Charles, and was also photographed holding ice cream in both hands during a trip to Northern Ireland in 2017. Ultimately, if Queen Elizabeth didn't think she would have been the right woman for the job, she wouldn't have given her daughter-in-law her blessing to become the next Queen Consort, which she did in February 2022.
Was Prince Harry annoyed by his seating assignment at King Charles III's coronation ceremony? Or was the former working royal just happy to support his dad? Body language experts have weighed in, and what they said may surprise you. Britain has crowned its new king, and as expected, the historic event had no shortage of famous faces. Of the many stars who graced Westminster Abbey, few caught the public's attention like estranged royal Prince Harry. The Duke of Sussex traveled to the UK without his wife Meghan Markle and their two children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet. In the days leading up to the coronation, questions arose as to what role Prince Harry would play, and most importantly, where he would be seated. Despite initial rumors that the seating arrangements would be made to follow the order of succession, The Sun confirmed otherwise. A source told the outlet, there were discussions that the seating could be arranged on line of succession. Instead, the decision was working royals only at the front and work back from there. Harry will be a long way from his father. True to the insider's claims, Harry arrived at Westminster Abbey in the company of his cousins Princess Eugenie and Princess Beatrice. All three were later seated in the third row. Given his former position in the royal family, many have been left wondering, how did Prince Harry really feel about this obvious snub? Seated a distant third row from his brother William, Prince of Wales, one might expect Prince Harry to have been a tad defiant toward the royal family.
As brothers, you have good days, you have bad days.
Instead, body language expert Mark Bowden told Nicki Swift that the prince was not in his usual defensive state. Nonetheless, he didn't seem too pleased with his seating position. Bowden explained, he takes time to settle into his third row seat as a non-senior member of the non-working royals. He shifts his weight and adjusts in his chair, showing some level of physical and potentially psychological discomfort. Despite his apparent discomfort, however, Harry exudes a sense of pride, showing off some of the medals he received from his late grandmother, Queen Elizabeth II.
Really? Please.
Boo.
With this act, Bowden believes the prince showed that he still feels a sense of duty to the monarchy. The prince also engaged in a lighthearted conversation with his cousins, letting out heartfelt smiles in between. Of course, the coronation was not the first time Harry has been snubbed by his estranged family. At Queen Elizabeth's funeral back in September 2022, Harry and Meghan were seated in the second row. This put the couple beside Princess Beatrice and right behind King Charles and the Prince of Wales. In the procession leading up to King Charles's coronation, Prince Harry walked into Westminster Abbey alone, while Princess Eugenie and her husband Jack Brooksbank walked ahead of Harry. Princess Beatrice and her husband Edoardo Mapelli-Mozzi walked behind him. Despite his solitary status, Harry walked down the aisle chatting with his cousins. According to body language expert Jess Ponsa III, this move did little to help relax the former working royal. Ponsa explained to Nicki Swift, "One could not help but feel for Prince Harry as he walked into the church. He knew that all eyes were on him, and it appeared he did his best to be as comfortable as possible." And despite his attempt at maintaining a decent composure, Ponsa argues that Prince Harry was indeed looking to fit in with the rest of the congregation, adding, "You could see this by him continuously fidgeting with his outfit and him looking around to all sides of him. He is figuratively and literally trying to sort out his place. Literally alone, he did his best to fit in, although all indications point to a need for an ally." However, while he might have wanted to fit in with the rest of his family, Harry did not try for too long. Right after the coronation ceremony, Harry jetted back to California, where he's expected to join his son Prince Archie's 4th birthday celebrations, according to Entertainment Tonight.
Prince Harry was in London on July 1st for the unveiling of a statue of his mother that was erected at the Sunken Garden at Kensington Palace. Harry was joined by his older brother, Prince William, marking the first time that the two had been together since their grandfather's funeral back in mid-April. The brothers put on a united front as they walked together, both seemingly excited to see the sculpture that they commissioned back in 2017. Ken Worf, former head of Princess Diana's security team, told People magazine following the special event, "It was their idea, and it was a joint effort." Harry and William approached the covered statue together, both wearing suits and big smiles as they made their way over to where it had been placed. They worked together to grab the green cover and to pull it off at the same time to unveil the bronze statue underneath. The brothers stepped back and admired the statue as guests, including Princess Diana's family, clapped, according to a video provided by The Guardian. Looking closely, royal watchers could see that Harry and William both reacted to the statue. And thanks to a lip reader, we now know what Harry said upon laying his eyes on the sculpture for the first time. When Prince Harry and Prince William first entered the Sunken Garden at Kensington Palace on July 1st, they admired the gorgeous landscaping that had been done in honor of this special day. According to People magazine, more than 4,000 flowers have been planted, in addition to 200 roses, 100 forget-me-nots, Diana's favorite flower, and 300 tulips of 3 varieties. There are 500 lavender plants, 50 sweet peas, and 100 dahlias. Harry couldn't help but react to the beauty, saying, "This is spectacular." Professional lip reader Jeremy Freeman told the Mirror, "The Duke of Cambridge and the Duke of Sussex approached the statue and pulled on 2 strings for the big reveal. As they stepped back to admire the work, Harry commented on how great it turned out." Freeman told the Mirror that Harry said, "Wow, isn't that amazing?" upon seeing the statue for the first time. As he continued looking at all of the detail that sculptor Ian Rink broadly included, Harry repeated the word amazing. Although Harry and William may not be on the best of terms at present time, the unveiling went off without a hitch, and those moments of seeing the statue for the first time will undoubtedly be cherished for the rest of their lives. It's one thing to know that Prince William and Prince Harry were pleased with their mother's statue, but it's almost more meaningful knowing that they could put their reported differences aside to honor their mother for the day. For over a year now, rumors have been swirling that Harry and William are on the outs, and the tension between them reportedly only got more intense when Harry and his wife Meghan Markle decided to step back from their royal duties. During his interview with Oprah Winfrey in March 2020, Prince Harry admitted that his relationships with both his brother and his father were strained, going so far as to point out that they were still stuck in royal life and following the firm's rules. Harry also accused his family of being racist towards his son Archie. After the interview, Prince William spoke out, saying, "We're very much not a racist family." At that time, he had still not spoken to his brother, per NBC News, but their grandfather's death in early April seems to have expedited their coming together in peace as brothers. While the two men obviously have different opinions about being a part of the monarchy, they clearly do come together in their love for their mother. The last time the brothers saw each other was at Prince Philip's funeral in April, obviously a somber moment. But during the unveiling of Princess Diana's statue in the sunken garden at Kensington Palace, the two appeared to be getting along swimmingly. They seemed to be laughing and smiling as they walked together for the event, and even as they pulled the cover off of the statue, possibly turning over a new leaf in their relationship. However, some thought the supposed feud was blown out of proportion from the very beginning. As Stuart Pearce, Diana's former vocal coach, told Nicki Swift, they had a disagreement like brothers disagree. Pearce noted how they came together after BBC journalist Martin Bashir landed in hot water in May for reportedly misleading Diana about their infamous 1995 interview. After the declaration of the Martin Bashir deceitfulness, we saw the rift is no longer, because the two boys came together. They obviously shared what they were going to say and then presented it to the world, so as a unified front. Whether the feud was real or not, it looks like Harry and William might be able to put the past behind them as they both move, with their families, into the next chapter of their lives. It's likely what Princess Diana would want for them after all.
Has the royal beef between the princess and the duchess escalated? One body language expert reveals a shocking insight. A moment that took place between Catherine Middleton, Princess of Wales, and Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, is now being evaluated by an expert. This exchange occurred as the British royal family continues to mourn the death of Queen Elizabeth II, who passed away on Thursday, September 8, 2022. King Charles III commented on the grief being experienced by the royal family, as well as onlookers across the globe, at the time of the Queen's passing. The King said, "We mourn profoundly the passing of a cherished sovereign and a much-loved mother. I know her loss will be deeply felt throughout the country, the realms, and the Commonwealth, and by countless people around the world." On Saturday, September 10th, 2022, William, Prince of Wales, took to Instagram to release a statement, writing in the caption, "I have had the benefit of the Queen's wisdom and reassurance into my 5th decade. She was by my side at my happiest moments, and she was by my side during the saddest days of my life." That same day, Harry, Duke of Sussex, was captured on video while he visited mourners at Windsor Castle and opened up about his feelings of grief. According to The Sun, Harry said as he met with the visitors, "It's a lonely place up there now without her. Every room she was in, we felt her presence throughout."
This is a family in mourning now.
Brothers William and Harry, along with their significant others, Kate and Meghan, have been seen together following the passing of the Queen. A body language professional is weighing in on a moment that was captured on video between Kate Middleton and Meghan Markle. This clip was recorded as they stood by their partners outside of Windsor Castle. The video shows Kate pausing for a moment to hold eye contact with Meghan prior to grinning for the camera. The news outlet chatted with Katia Loisel, who is an expert on body language, to figure out what this may indicate. Loisel stated that the moment looked like it caused discomfort for Meghan, who appeared ill at ease. She shared that it seemed Kate was reluctant to interact with Meghan specifically, although William showed signs of wanting to make sure both Harry and Meghan were included. 7 News also wrote that Kate's lack of interaction with Meghan could be classified as Kate, quote, "freezing Meghan out," Loisel said. On numerous occasions, Meghan looked over at Kate, however, the gaze wasn't reciprocated. Rather, Kate appeared to look through her, suggesting underlying tension between the pair. Another expert named Judy James talked to The Sun about Meghan's recent signals towards William and Kate. saying, Meghan's body language suggested levels of suppressed awkwardness. Aside from these evaluations, Kate and Meghan have displayed genuine emotion related to the Queen's passing. People reported on the actions of the pair as the Queen lay in state on September 14, 2022, at Westminster Hall. The news outlet wrote that Kate and Meghan were visibly emotional and seemed to be on the verge of tears as they stood by their significant others, Prince William and Prince Harry, while Queen Elizabeth II's coffin was covered by the royal standard flag. The two women donned items of pearl jewellery that Queen Elizabeth II had gifted to them. Although body language evaluations may have indicated tension between Kate and Meghan, it appears as though they've continued to stand as a united front during the royal family's grieving process. After this gathering, Kate, Meghan and their spouses, along with other members of the royal family, convened for a dinner at Buckingham Palace. In addition, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex documented a public appearance with Kate and William through their social media account. On the pair's Instagram, photos of the two couples walking together outside of Windsor Castle were posted on September the 11th, 2022, to share when Harry and Meghan joined William and Kate as they met mourners and viewed a floral tribute to the Queen.
It's not often we get to eavesdrop on the conversations of the royal family, and most of what the public hears from them has been written and pre-prepared. Thanks to the efforts of lip readers, however, it is possible to get an idea of how they speak to each other. Lip readers were on full alert during Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's final royal engagement in March 2020. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex attended the annual Commonwealth service at Westminster Abbey, along with a who's who list of the royal family's VIPs. After exchanging some pleasantries with Prince William and Kate Middleton, Harry had a pretty scathing comment to make to his wife, at least according to professional lip reader Jeremy Freeman. Freeman told the Daily Star that the brothers and their wives shared some very quick hellos, and then, when Will and Kate had turned away, Harry turned to Meghan and appeared to say, "At least they acknowledged, unlike last time." Meghan responded to Harry's lip-read comment with a gentle smile and a nod. Freeman claims that around the same time, William turned to Kate and said, "That was executed well." A different perspective on the same conversation at the 2020 Commonwealth service came courtesy of a report in The Telegraph. According to their lip reader, after William and Kate sat down, Harry turned to Meghan and actually said, he literally said, "Hello, Harry," and that was it, and he didn't say anything more than that. Who's right and who's wrong? You decide. Either way, the lip reader did stress that they couldn't be totally sure who Harry was talking about. As royal commentator Camilla told ITV's This Morning,
"But we don't know whether he was referring to William or because he had just been meeting dignitaries, including Boris Johnson. So a bit of mystery on that."
In yet another Commonwealth service moment deciphered by a lip reader, Prince William was reportedly seen spilling some tea with his wife, Kate Middleton. According to the Daily Star, William's intriguing comment came after he and Kate had said hi to Harry and Meghan at the event. After exchanging a quick hello with his brother and sister-in-law, William appeared to say to Kate, "It's quite good to connect instead of holding things back like always." Kate had her back turned when she responded, so it really is anyone's guess as to what she said, or didn't say, to her husband in response. But the Daily Star's lip-reading expert said William shrugged and replied, "I know it's bad. I ought to have words with him." Who did he mean? Well, that's anyone's guess. Not every scandalous royal lip read went down in March 2020, of course. Flashback to April 2011 for the wedding of Prince William and Kate Middleton. Not only was the wedding day a national holiday in the United Kingdom, but there were about 1 billion people watching as well. To many of the viewers tuning in at home, every single thing about the big day seemed like a perfect fairy tale. Not everyone in the royal inner circle was such a fan, however. In fact, Queen Elizabeth herself apparently had at least one complaint about her grandson's wedding. The Queen only voiced this opinion to her husband, Prince Philip, but the alleged complaint was made public by a lip reader analyzing footage of the day. According to the Mirror, the Queen chatted with Philip about the event as the ceremony finished up, evidently saying, quote, "It was excellent, but that there was one thing she would have changed." She reportedly said, "I wanted them to take the smaller carriage. Guess you can't please everyone." Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal wedding in May 2018 was a huge occasion for the royal family. Not only did the couple invite 600 guests to the ceremony at St. George's Hall, but more than 100,000 royal fans lined the streets in Windsor to see the newlyweds make their carriage ride in the procession. In October 2018, Harry's cousin, Princess Eugenie, tied the knot at the same location. Her wedding reportedly had more guests, but drew a much smaller crowd of onlookers.
Please.
Boo.
Apparently, one of Harry's other cousins, Zara Tindall, felt the need to comment on this at Eugenie's wedding. According to a lip reader working for the Mirror, Zara turned to Harry at one point during the event and supposedly said, "It's very quiet compared to the screaming at your wedding." Harry seemed pretty confused by the comment and reportedly replied, "Mine? Yes, Harry, yours. Keep up." Even a normal wedding is stressful for the bride and groom, but Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's royal wedding was next level. The huge event drew a sea of people who camped out on the streets in Windsor in hopes of getting a look at the Duke and Duchess of Sussex on their big day. The bride and groom were all smiles throughout the happy event, but as things were winding down, Harry decided he needed a little pick-me-up. According to the Daily Mail, one lip reader claimed that as their carriage ride came to an end, Harry quipped, "I'm ready for a drink now." Truer words. Prince Harry and Meghan Markle attended Princess Eugenie's wedding to Jack Brooksbank at St. George's Chapel in Windsor just 5 months after they said "I do" in the same venue. So it should not come as too big of a surprise that they had some thoughts about how Eugenie's wedding played out compared to their own. According to the Mirror, a lip reader revealed that Harry appeared to have turned to Meghan in the chapel and said, "Everything's different." Meghan reportedly replied, "Yes, of course. That's the way." Meghan's next comment was hard to decipher exactly, but the Mirror reports that it seemed to be about how packed the venue was because her sentence ended with the words, "Fill up as much." It would make sense that Meghan was commenting on how full the chapel was, while her and Harry's wedding drew significantly bigger crowds outside in the streets of Windsor. Eugenie reportedly had 200 more official invitees.
While King Charles III's coronation was broadcasted far and wide for all to see, there were still little things you might not have noticed, especially when it comes to Queen Camilla's body language. King Charles III's coronation was an occasion to remember, as his crowning and that of Queen Camilla represented a major shift for the British monarchy. King Charles assumed the position after his mother, Queen Elizabeth II, died in September 2022. And, of course, the ceremony wouldn't be complete without the crowning of his wife Camilla, to whom he's been married since 2005 and allegedly in love with since he met her at a polo match in the 1970s.
There was clearly a lot of feeling there from the beginning.
There were numerous moments that garnered attention, but the actual crowning of King Charles and Queen Camilla stood out significantly. Fans got to witness the transformation of both the king and queen as they received their respective headpieces. Body language expert Mark Bowden commented on the importance of this ritual, saying, "The crowning of King Charles III and the Queen Consort is a great example of nonverbal communication, demonstrating how a single object can hold symbolic meaning far beyond its physical form." While neither King Charles nor Queen Camilla wore smiles during the crowning, the Queen seemed to be much more tense than her husband. When King Charles III was crowned, we saw him looking as serene as ever when the crown was bestowed upon him by the Archbishop of Canterbury, Justin Welby. However, when Queen Camilla was crowned, she appeared a little shaky and apprehensive. As the crown approached, she moved back slightly and nervously adjusted her posture. As it was placed upon her head, she made an uncertain gesture with her hand before sliding her finger under the crown. Body language expert Mark Bowden examined this tradition, calling attention to the differences between King Charles and Queen Camilla's responses. Bowden described King Charles III's calmness upon receiving the crown, saying, "When Charles receives the crown, his head is already slightly bowed, displaying reverence for the weighty symbol he will bear. However, when the crown lands on Charles's head, he supports its weight fully, perhaps displaying his commitment to the duty ahead." On the other hand, Bowden explained that Queen Camilla's wobbly adjustments and hand motions were most likely due to fear about the crown's steadiness. He said, "It is fair to say Charles shows more control and composure than Camilla around this event." After all, Bowden concluded, "The weight of any crown is both physical, mental, and iconic. Charles looks to be wearing all of these well at this stage." Because of her history with King Charles III, the crowning of Queen Camilla carries a lot of weight. It wasn't always definite that the Queen would ascend the throne, as she sparked a great deal of controversy over the years. By now, we're all probably aware of Charles and Camilla's on-again, off-again romance in the 70s and 80s. According to Jonathan Dimbledy's authorized biography, Prince of Wales, an affair officially began in 1986 when Charles was still married to Princess Diana. A scandal later surfaced when Charles and Camilla's private phone call was leaked to the press. Though it took place in 1989, the transcript was published 4 years later in its entirety. The then prince made a host of remarks, including that he wished he could, quote, live inside her trousers and be reincarnated as a Tampax.
Ain't love grand?
Following Diana's death, British residents were not fans of Charles's relationship with Camilla, to say the least. In 1997, a television poll revealed that 2/3 of participants declared that Prince Charles should not assume the title of king if he married Camilla. Needless to say, Camilla was pressured to completely revamp her public image. While Queen Camilla hasn't grown on everyone, NBC News royal commentator Daisy McAndrew believes that her popularity has increased. In a 2022 article by CTV News, she said, I think how she's managed to come in from the cold in the public's perception and affection has been remarkable. She added that Camilla's display of her sense of humor, support for her husband, and devotion to issues like domestic abuse has helped change public opinion. She then went on to say, she's wisely never attempted to outshine Princess Diana. Although she became more favorable throughout the years, it wasn't certain that Camilla would take the crown until recently. In 2020, King Charles and Camilla's rep told The Times, the intention is for the Duchess to be known as Princess Consort when the prince ascends to the throne. This was announced at the time of the marriage, and there has been absolutely no change at all. However, there was one person who was rooting for Camilla. None other than the late Queen Elizabeth II pushed for Camilla to take the official title of Queen Consort. In a statement, she said, it is my sincere wish that, when that time comes, Camilla will be known as Queen Consort as she continues her own loyal service.
Prince William and Prince Harry finally spoke in public at the Queen's committal service. But what did they say to each other? Here's how a lip reader interpreted the brief exchange. On September 8, 2022, the world seemed to come to a halt when Buckingham Palace announced the death of Britain's longest reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II. In the days that followed, every sector of the royal family came together to celebrate, honor, and lay to rest the beloved Queen. However, one of the biggest surprises to come out of the 12-day-long mourning period was the reunion between Prince William and Prince Harry. During the Queen's committal service, the two brothers even spoke briefly, with some taking the interaction as a sign of reconciliation. So what did they say to each other? There were no microphones near the princes to catch what they were saying. But lip reader Jackie Press shared with the Daily Mail what she caught. As the embattled brothers and their wives went to enter the pews for the committal service, Harry allegedly asked William, "Shall we go through first?" William nodded his head yes before reportedly telling his wife, Princess Catherine, let them go through first. Catherine allegedly said okay as Harry and Markle walked past her and her children. Nothing all that revealing in that exchange, but the civility is a signal of hope to many royal watchers. On September 10th, in another moment that seemed to be a sign that the brothers were on the mend, the duo reunited outside Windsor Castle to greet mourners.
When these four stepped out of their vehicle, this is not something that anyone had expected.
While Prince Harry and Prince William's united front was a surprise to royal enthusiasts, a source revealed to The Times that it was intentional, saying, "The Prince of Wales thought it was an important show of unity at an incredibly difficult time for the family." Another source told Entertainment Tonight that William invited Harry and Meghan to the event via text only an hour beforehand. It was the first time they had seen each other since their grandmother's death. Because the brothers spent a lot of time with each other during the funeral proceedings, fans hoped that they would put their differences aside. However, royal experts have seemingly crushed any ideas of the two reconciling anytime soon. A source told the Mirror, "There is still a serious amount of distrust in the air, and there hasn't been any cause for that to change. The feeling is very much that there is little point in pursuing a repair in relations until all the cards are on the table." While a reunion may not happen in the near future, some claim that Prince Harry has been filled with regret and sadness in recent days regarding his relationship with Prince William. Body language expert Judy James told the US Sun, during the service, Harry was dabbing tears as well as tending to look around a lot. And there were at least 2 occasions when his gaze, that was more of a stare, appeared directed at William. His expression suggested sadness and possible regret. And as they prepared to march behind the coffin again, Harry showed his most emotional display, according to James, who added, "Standing in line, he watched as the brother he had once been so close to, the nephew he had adored playing with, and the sister-in-law he had viewed as his own sister, filed in front of him with not one glance in his direction." Since they were born, Prince William and Prince Harry have been in the spotlight. Throughout their childhood, teen years, and early adulthood, the brothers presented a united front as they navigated the slippery tabloid world. However, in 2018, their once close relationship reportedly began to crack, after the two made headlines for their tense interactions. According to Vanity Fair's royal insider Katie Nicholl, one of their early disagreements was due to Prince William's attitude towards Prince Harry's wife Meghan Markle during the holiday season. A mutual friend of the prince's told her, "Harry felt William wasn't rolling out the red carpet for Meghan, and told him so. They had a bit of a fallout, which was only resolved when Charles stepped in." Following the reported incident, the two princes seemingly put aside their differences, and were relatively on good terms. But in 2020, it all came to a head when Harry and Meghan announced that they would be stepping away from their royal duties.
I love William to bits. He's my brother. We've been through hell together, and we have a shared experience.
Shortly after the surprising news made headlines, Us Weekly reported that Prince William was blindsided and incredibly hurt over Prince Harry and Meghan's departure. After being separated for 2 years, fans hoped the two would reconcile in light of Queen Elizabeth's passing. While they had a civil exchange at the Queen's funeral, it seems as though the brothers have yet to formally reconcile.
King Charles III made his first speech after the tragic death of Queen Elizabeth II, and the world was watching. The new king's speech was poignant and strong. Charles began by stating,
"I speak to you today with feelings of profound sorrow."
The king continued by stating, "Throughout her life, Her Majesty the Queen, my beloved mother, was an inspiration and example to me and to all my family, and we owe her the most heartfelt debt any family can owe to their mother, for her love, affection, guidance, understanding, and example." The speech balanced his role as king with his role as Elizabeth's son. Some of the new king's subjects were emotional during the speech, and across the pond, Americans thought it was a royal hit. American journalist David Rothkopf tweeted, "I'm just a guy from New Jersey, but to my ears and thinking, the speech of King Charles was moving, and it touched upon the issues that needed to be addressed. Even Americans who aren't fans of King Charles liked what he had to say." A non-fan tweeted, "This American who really doesn't care for Charles thought it absolutely lovely and endearing." Netizens aside, Jess Ponser III, a body language expert, communication coach, and author of Awesome, talked to Nicki Swift exclusively and opened up about King Charles's body language during the speech, and it may have included a hidden message about Meghan Markle and Prince Harry. Ponser told Nicki Swift that, "King Charles expressed his love to both of them in a very inclusive way. He also made a point to mention the life they are building, indicating his respect and approval." The body language specialist also said King Charles's words about Meghan and Harry had the same appropriate tone as the rest of his address, and that he closed his eyes briefly afterward, as if to button up or close the subject. But Ponser said that King Charles addressed the couple for 2 reasons. First, it reinforced his position of inclusivity, as if to subtly say we are all one family. The author observed that mentioning Harry and Meghan preemptively told the press and other onlookers that Harry and Meghan's relationship with the family should not be an issue or focus. It is a good strategy to promote family unity, as the new king faces a challenge with his son's feud. In a September 7th column by Yahoo royal editor Omid Scobie, the British journalist dropped a bombshell, a source told Scobie. "Many lines were crossed by William. He was at the center of a number of painful moments, be it the actions of his own staff or turning his back when support was needed." Ponser told Nicki Swift that King Charles wanted people to honor Queen Elizabeth II in his speech. Ponser said, "He was framed in a close-up shot that was head-on with blown-out background. The shot did not include his hands. The deliberate focus was on his facial expressions and words." The body language expert and author noted that the new king realized all eyes were on him. Looking at his actions in a new way, Ponser said, "He showed up remarkably, strong yet approachable. He had a softness in his eyes and a kind-hearted tone." His cadence was warm, sincere, and appropriate. He was regal and reassuring. Ponta noted that it wasn't easy to address the public so quickly after the passing of a loved one, let alone someone with eyes on him from over the world. Responses about the King's speech from social media and TV pundits seemed positive, and it appears the new monarch's subjects welcomed him. Extra TV tweeted that the new king and his wife Camilla were outside Buckingham Palace on September 9th, looking at the tributes to the Queen and greeting mourners. But King Charles got a surprise. ITV News shared a video that showed someone in the crowd giving His Majesty a kiss on the cheek. During this visit, he greeted so many people in attendance, making sure to thank everyone for their positivity.
President-elect Donald Trump was in Paris over the weekend, and among other world leaders, he exchanged words with Prince William. A lip reader's interpretation of their interaction could portend very bad news for another UK royal. Trump and the Prince of Wales were both in attendance at a December 7, 2024 ceremony celebrating the reopening of Notre Dame Cathedral, which was severely damaged in a fire in April 2019 while Trump was president the first time.
It was burning at a level that you rarely see a fire burn.
As Trump walked down a line of other dignitaries, he could be seen stopping to shake William's hand and even give him a pat on the chest as the two spoke a few inaudible words to each other. To find out what they said, Nicki Swift spoke exclusively to expert lip reader Nicola Hickling, founder of Lip Reader, for a breakdown. Though Hickling couldn't make out every word because of camera cuts, the words she did catch indicated they seemed to be making plans to reconnect after the ceremony. She said William can first be seen saying the words "happy to" and then "see you afterwards." Hickling says Trump responded with the words "I love" before another camera edit cut him off. Trump's body language and turn of the head made it seem like he left William with a couple more words before walking off. Though Hickling couldn't catch every word, the reunion looked nothing but positive. With William smiling and amiably stooping down, Trump's body language looked locked into his reality show mode of exerting dominance as he came in nice and close for his signature handshake. And the two did indeed meet up later. A Kensington Palace spokesperson told Express, the pair discussed a range of global issues, but President Trump also shared some warm and fond memories with the prince about the late Queen, for which His Royal Highness was extremely grateful. Trump may have gotten comfy with Prince William, but he has been less enthusiastic about his younger brother, Prince Harry. In 2020, Harry and his wife Meghan Markle, after multiple clashes with the royal family organization and the British press, stepped away from their royal duties and moved to the US. Harry admitted in his memoir Spare that he had used illegal drugs, which ignited some drama over whether he should have been allowed to immigrate to the United States. Part of that drama involved the Heritage Foundation, the conservative think tank that was responsible for Project 2025. The Heritage Foundation sued the Department of Homeland Security to unseal documents, looking to reveal if Harry lied about the drug use on his visa application. In September 2024, the BBC reported that the judge in the case blocked any release of information. While that judgment came out in Harry's favor, that doesn't mean he's off the hook. Trump called the Duke of Sussex out at the Conservative Political Action Conference in February 2024. The now president-elect told Express, "I wouldn't protect Harry. He betrayed the Queen. That's unforgivable. He would be on his own." What that means is uncertain, but the president-elect publicly buddying up to Harry's older brother and rival has almost definitely got to make the Duke of Sussex a little nervous.